Just one. One manly tear for Don Slime. Man. Brandino! Toriko. 347. Sorry, Prince. But it's about to get real. So the chapter opens up. And we got Don Slime talking to Enma, or Enma. Basically the Spirit King. And he's trying to, he's trying to finagle a way to get Ichiru's soul back. Because, they're trying to get him a body. They're going to use the god meat to kind of bring him basically back to life. Because they need Ichiru. Ichiru's a canon. And the crazy thing about it is, when we saw Ichiru lose, like all that time back, especially when it was on the show, when we saw Ichiru lose, it wasn't like that big of a... I'm not going to say it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm not even going to lie. It was a big deal. But the craziest part about it is, for me, I didn't even think that... I thought Ichiru was fighting at the top of the top. But the way that they make it seem is as though Ichiru basically gave that fight. Like, he gave that. He just said, yo, I'm done, basically. And he kind of left. Because they're hyping it to make it seem as though Ichiru's power is too great to have left this world. One, he was able... His food demon, his gourmet demon, is not just a demon. It's not just a spirit. It's the king of the spirit realm. According to the chapter, this king is so great that the 7 beasts that are supposed to be the counter to Whale King Moon, he cut pieces of them off, basically little chibi versions of all of them, and tamed them and trained them. Now, of course, he's not taming and training the actual beast. That would be a little much. But the fact that not only did you take on all 7 of them, you took a piece of all 7 of them. And these pieces ain't small. These pieces are fairly large. You tamed them, and now they're trained. So they're they're basically camping monsters, so that they automatically have their own safe zone, and anybody that's with them are basically safe. This is what Ichiru had? So, as we're going through the chapter, sorry, my phone went off. As we're going through the chapter, we also see that Komatsu has met Chako's mother. But she's in a different body. And the way that she explains is she got taken away. And by some twist of fate, she managed to land a body that actually has eyes. Because she was blind before. So she's not really used to being able to see. So I'm guessing that because of her blindness in her past life, her eyes are really weak in this new body. Because she didn't have strong eyesight. But she can tell anything by smell. She is on Wolf King status, which I'm still wanting to see a Wolf King. Anyway, so then now they're also talking about Aimaru's group and how, it's been 3 days since they left. And they have the camping monsters and everything, and they're basically out there getting as much done as they can. But one of the girls that was with them, one of the ladies that was with them, the scientist girl, because I don't remember her name. I couldn't find her name. You know who I'm talking about. But basically, this scientist lady comes in the room, bursts in where Yuta and all of them are basically preparing for this ordeal they're about to do. And they're like, all right, 3 days has passed. But she's like, no. It's not about 3 days. 3 days is what it is on the surface. But you have to remember, we're in Blue Grill. And Blue Grill is inside of this giant shell that has its own time space, which is working at 1/60th of real time. Which means that a second on Earth is a minute inside of Blue Grill. Which is why, basically, whatever. But she says that not only is time going to be different just because they're in their own monster, also each of these monsters creates its own time zone. So, frankly, all of the monsters work at their own pace, which means the 6 days it's going to take on the surface, it's going to take way longer when they're in range of the beast. So, of course, I'm sitting there I'm like, so does that mean they're going to be down there for like years? Gigi on some con shit. Because, I'm sorry, excuse my language, but he is on some con shit. Because he's sitting there telling them like, oh yeah, it's only going to be 6 days. But then he makes that face, that like shadowed eye face, like something evil's about to happen. And I'm like, Gigi, don't turn on the kids, man. They're not ready for the truth. Gigi comes back and says, oh yeah, I didn't tell them on purpose. I wanted to see if they got the gall, the guts, the moxie to continue on this journey. Because the 6 days that it's going to take to get these pieces, they have to extract it from the beast. Which means whoever's getting that tooth is going to have to be pulling on a blade for 6 days. On the surface. But that's not the monster's time, though. Gigi comes in saying it might be a year. It might be 10 years. But they have to pull with all of their might for that, like, dog! They have to pull with every ounce of their strength for a year, for 2 years, for 10 years in that time space. It's only going to be 6 days on the surface. And of course, one of the other chefs, which I'm thinking that should be Komatsu's wife, yo. She's mad cute. Setsuno's understudy. But she's like, wait, but are they going to come back old? And then he's like, no. They're going to age the same amount of time that it is for, 6 days. They're aging by surface time because that's where they are. But it is going to feel like 10 years. So their mind is going to be 10 years stronger. Their body in the way it flows and everything is going to be 10 years stronger. But they're still going to be as if it was only 6 days. But back to the fact that they have to pull, yank, lift. I don't know what they're going to be doing. I don't know how they're going to be pulling these pieces out. But they're going to be doing this for 10 years. Have you not heard me already? 10 years. They're going to be pulling at this stuff. And you see I sitting there pulling at the ground, got that face of just like, it's over. I can't quit. This, if you can see that. This face. This face. That's the face of somebody that's trying with all their might. But of course the chefs believe in each other. And they're like, you know what? Their might is way better than what you give them credit for. They have the tenacity to keep this thing going. They've got it. And if it ain't them, you know who's got it best. Who's that? My name is John C. Anyway, I set that joke up the worst. But anyway, 10 years. They might be down there pulling for 10 years. So then the chapter ends with basically Don Slime in some weird chamber. And you start to see, this body like on the ground. You see some feet, you see some arms. Then you see that signature mustache. And you're like, is that Ichiru's body? So Don Slime, using some ability that he has, is able to clone the cells of Ichiru's body. And he's made basically a shell for Ichiru's soul to come back in. But the last scene The last scene, it hit me like, if you ever seen like those TV shows where it's like the dog is waiting, like that legend of the dog in Japan that would always wait at the train station for his master because the guy saved him from death and then always followed him and whatever. And like to the day, he would always go to that one spot and wait. And it was like the dude died, but he always waited at that. Yo, it hit me like that. But then when I read it, which is why I did that shit in the beginning. Men don't say I love you to each other. I mean, sure you say it to your kids, but when you're a man, on the man, you don't have to say it. But this phrase is basically like, come on, son. Come back to me. I love you, son. Come to me, son. Please. It's almost like Don Slime is like that father with his child in a coma. And he's just like, come back to me, son. I want to throw the football, son. Come on, baby. I didn't bring you in so you could leave me behind. You're supposed to leave after me, not before. I'm just like, yo, this... Comment down below. Subscribe all over here. And don't let the fact that sometimes people don't want to come back because they finally moved on. Get you down! Because the dawn always Cookie Punch rises on a new day. The thing would be to subscribe. So after credit stuff, Toriko, Komatsu edition, Boku no Wisdom Wednesdays last week. I'm sorry I didn't drop one this week. You know, for those who actually watch it, it's a little short show where I just kind of delve into some things I'll be thinking about or some lessons I learned. Maybe it might inspire you to do some greater things. You know, maybe check it out. Nanatsu, Ansatsu, that lion sin in Nanatsu, Ansatsu. I'm finally gonna be doing the new video. I'm sorry. So 161 is not going to be here. It's going to be the new one. One Punch. That episode 6 though. Saitama. City Z. And in the Shobutai, yeah, I've got it's a triple episode, guys. It's work, man. I'm sorry. Radiant, I'm gonna have somewhere. Medium level on the stomach, and above my head, a new affiliate channel, Audio Dope. Well, it's actually been here for a while. It's got a fresh new coat of paint, and they got videos. Well, he's got videos coming out. I want to say, if not every week, you know, it could be as close to every other day. It depends on when he's online, but he streams a lot. So he has a lot of live streams that he'll do, and then he'll repost them on medium level. But the original channel that they're on is Audio Dope, and more stuff is going to be coming back to medium level because I think we're going to start getting the site back up and running. We've been down for a while, mainly because of scheduling, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I hope you liked everything. Check out Audio Dope. Check out medium level. Those are all the other videos. Thanks for watching.